different kind of channels that you want to use and what the other industry folks are doing. You know the people who are going to potentially buy your product. Now the next thing is, how do you communicate to those people, right? In terms of, you need to, and you also need to identify at what stage they are in, right? They could be in an initial research stage, which is more of the awareness stage, or they could be on an engagement stage, or a conversion. So for example, if I'm looking for a certain HR product that I need to use for my company, and I don't know what can solve it, and I'm generally looking, if I go searching, I would look for products to improve productivity, or tools to improve productivity, or tools to improve employee engagement, right? I would not look for specific products. So at this stage, if somebody gives me content which says, hey, this tool helps increase employee engagement, that's more relevant. But if somebody tells me, okay, buy this particular product, okay, buy HR X or something like that, right? I won't know because I don't know what the product is. So you need to define what your product is and how you want to communicate it. So and also you look at all the content that you have. And if you folks are in B2B, you'll be generating a whole lot of content. So you need to classify content based on stages and personas. A financial buyer will not be interested in a lot of the features, but he's interested only in price and ROI. Whereas an actual user will be more interested in features and benefits. So what you do is, so you have all your content. So if you're looking to start a social media campaign today, what you would do is, once you've created a grid, typically this essentially you'll find they'll build up into a nice table, right? This is your target audience, these are the personas, and for each persona, these are the content I have. I have 3 white papers, or I have 2 case studies, or I have so many videos. Next is, you essentially map it. So you say, okay, these white papers can be used to target these 4 personas in this stage. You know, while creation of this content and everything is a very creative process, this part of it is very, very scientific. So marketing is, like many say, it's a combination of art and science. So it's a very scientific process. So you map it. And once you've done it, it's pretty much all your prep is done. All your the ingredients for baking the perfect cake is in place. Then you go to the next level and this is the amazing part of social media, at least Facebook and LinkedIn and everything, and even Twitter, where you can really do laser targeting. Right? What Google bought in terms of intent-based targeting, which is when somebody's searching for shoes, you can show an ad for shoes. Facebook and LinkedIn have taken it to another level, where you can actually target folks based on, I'm sure all of you would know it up to a certain level, right? You can target people based on where they are, what age group, where they studied, what are their interests. And you have a lot of these. And during the workshop, Daryl will be taking you across some of these targeting options, how you set it up. And this is where it also helps you manage your budget properly. Because if you just take all your budget and just target everybody, you lose money. So you have specific budget, you set specific campaigns for each of these personas, and then use laser targeting. So you've done everything, you set it up, you know whom to target, you set the campaigns, everything. Next is obviously the play. So now we get to play. One of the first things you do is obviously which social media you really want to start. Like you had a question, should I use Facebook or no? It purely depends on what's your overall strategy. And you know, we definitely have examples of that when I get the panelists on board as well. But you know, it could be something as simple as if it's an HR product. It could be like a very interesting thing telling, hey, you know, this product can make your employees 10x more productive or more fun. You know, make work fun for your team. It could be something as simple as that, which is a very Facebooky kind of message versus a LinkedIn kind of message, right? Which is more which you can use. And then obviously is you've done all that, then you start running your campaigns. Once your campaign starts running, you get loads of data. What kind of banners are working? What kind of messages are working? Are you getting those impressions? Are you getting those clicks? And that's where you start optimizing it and changing it. And some of the creative formats you have today are amazing, right? Some of the ads formats that you have on Facebook, you have the whole, what do you call the carousels? You have, what are those animation things called? What is that? slideshow and the one in which you can have a little bit of animation in there? Okay, you have those JPEGs with one element moving. Oh, the cinema graph, right? It's amazing. So I'm sure you have seen a lot of those pictures, right, where everything is static and only one flame is moving somewhere. These kind of things can be used very effectively to attract people. And those will keep changing, frankly, because each of these platforms are getting better and better and better. And so this one, we sort of purposely put it in because a lot of times people miss this, is you create amazing social media campaigns, and when people respond to it, you take them and leave them, drop them at your website, right? Website homepage, which is not a very smart thing to do, because it's pretty much like telling, hey, if you're a mall and you have one store and you're advertising and you're just getting people to the entrance of the mall rather than to the actual spot. So it's always better, especially when you're doing lead gen, to have focused landing pages for every activity that you do, right? Based on whatever the message is. And in today's world, it's very easy to even set up landing pages on the fly, right? There are tools like Unbounce, and so many of them. In fact, that's one of the best things for all of us as digital marketers here. All these tools are SaaS-based and easy to use, and everything has a free trial, right? So you can try it, work on it. How many of you like to play around with all these tools? Yeah, you got it, right? As a digital marketer, it's really amazing the kind of stuff you have. And now what makes the difference? What makes the difference between the winner and the rest? And this is where all the data junkies can really enjoy it. And the kind of data that's available, it's amazing. You can literally figure out who's responding to your banner, what profiles are responding to your banner, what time of the day, what geolocation, what times they prefer, and actually you can use this to measure and target your KPIs and everything. So as part of the workshop, we also have some sample templates that folks can use. And what you do with all this data, you optimize, right? So you fine-tune the whole campaign based on the metrics. So you pretty much have everything. But I think the key thing here is once you set up the whole thing, it's not over. Your play is not over yet. It's constant, continuous. We work on that, and the other thing is you might get an interest from X platform, you can target them on the other platform. So how many of you, I'm sure each one of you have had this experience, right? You go to a certain site, you search for something, and then you go to Facebook, and then you're pretty much, hey, do you want to buy shoes in Amazon? And you'll have the same brand, right? So it's really about, so in a way it's good, but in a way it's bad. How many of you like it? Remarketing. Okay. Absolutely, and it's interesting. A lot of people don't like it because it's sort of something that can really improve efficiencies of our campaigns, right? Because you spend a lot of money, you get a person interested on Facebook, but he goes off or in some other channel, but then that person is browsing somewhere else, and you sort of retarget them. But it needs to be done in a smart way, in a non-intrusive way, and you should know where to stop, right? So in terms of setting it up, and so that's sort of like a very quick flow, because I wanted to keep Gyan to the minimum in terms of talk and have more interactive discussion with everybody. That way it's much more helpful for both. So are we ready to play? So if you have questions for the panelists, feel free to tweet to the same handle, #MKSalesNASSCOM. Yeah. Or @MKSales